Today is Saturday, September 27th, 2025. We're on another lesson. All praises to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, forever and forever, so let it be true. It's the ancient Hebrew name of God, the Most High, Yahweh, and His Holy Son, Yahweh Shai. In the ancient Hebrew means He is the deliverer of His people. Matthew chapter 15, verse 24, Matthew chapter 10, verse 5 and 6. Love, honor, and respect to the Heavenly Father Yahweh, to His Holy Son Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the apostles of GMS, to the 4 major prophets, to the 12 minor prophets, and to the hopeful elect, the 144,000, the brothers, the Akim, the saints, who are preaching the word of God on the 4 corners of this earth. Okay? It's been a couple weeks since I posted on this camera. If you want to watch the long version, type in Days of Chaos, Days of Sorrow, and the videos are 1-2 hour videos on there. Okay, I have 13 channels, but like I said, I'm shadow banned. Just type in Days of Chaos, Days of Sorrow, and you'll see the channel that has the long videos. A lot of things have happened. You've seen Charlie was assassinated a couple of weeks ago. You know, if you want to watch some of the videos, I have it on my other channel. But things are happening, things are moving quickly. Like I said, we're going to be going into a civil war and a race war. And remember Charlie Boy and all these guys that are on Fox News, CNBC, CNN, okay, they're paid. All right, they're paid off, all right, to debate, to brainwash the masses, especially Charlie Boy. They send them to high schools, colleges to debate, all right, to push, you know, their white supremacy, all right, because we're going in, like I said, we're going in to a race war here in America. It's going to be Esau against the tribes, all right. This is facts. Nobody could tap dance out of this, you know. And they're calling this guy a saint, Saint Charlie. I mean, the right, the Republicans, and the left, the Democrats, they're both psychopaths, sociopaths. Okay, we're going into, like I said, we're going to a civil war, and the Rothschilds are behind it. He was paid millions of dollars to push their agenda. And remember, the Rothschilds play both sides, right? Because they're going to sit back and watch everything go down, right? That's what they're all about. They play both sides, all right? It's to get the population, the people here in America, to take each other out, to kill each other, right? Divide and conquer. They have the power. They play both sides, and they're all paid. Like Charlie Boy, they said on a down low of how much money he had on a low amount was 12 million, but there was estimates that he was worth over 50 million, and that's Israel paying him off. Okay, but at the end there, he was starting to speak against Israel, and that's why they took him out. Okay, because when you stand up or try to fight against their rule, all right, they'll get rid of you. Remember, they have the Rothschilds, Israel, the Mossad. They have the White House, NATO, France, Germany, England, Italy, Spain, Portugal. They have all the governments of the world. They're listening to them. All right. They have a computer called the Beast that's tracking every single human being on the face of the earth. All right. They're tracking you from your library cards to your television. They're watching you with from your television. They're watching you and recording you from your ovens, your refrigerators, your washer and dryers. All right. They have that technology. Right, probably if you have some of these appliances from, I would say, at least 20 years, they've been watching you and listening to you. And before that, they were tracking you with your library card, all right, of what kind of books that you're reading. And like I said, they have people, they're called the Watchers. They have them everywhere. They're at the libraries, they're at elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, the police department, fire department. They have them everywhere, and they're watching people. All right. So you've been under your they've been watching you, and they're tracking everybody. All right, but they're pushing. Things are moving quickly, and I'm going to get like right to the point. Tomorrow on my other channel, Days of Chaos, Days of Sorrow, I'm going to be talking about two movies that I went to go see. One was called The Long Walk, and the other movie was One Battle After Another, which I seen that yesterday on Friday. That just came out. All right, they show you what's going to happen in the movies, okay? Because they run Hollywood, the Rothschild family, and their corporations, Paramount, MGMs. That's all their business. Corporations. They own the corporations, okay? And your whole government, they're flunkies. They're coffee boys. They take orders. Even your boy Donald Trump. All right, his $1 billion is like pennies in a jar. Okay, they're the ones that have the trillions and trillions of dollars. They control that Federal Reserve. All right, and they want the whole world in their hands. But like I said, they put this they put a lot of information in these movies. All right, we can go back to War of the Worlds. They know about the chariots coming back, and then they make movies about them. So go back to the 1930s and 40s. They were showing the chariots of God. All right, the Planet of the Apes. That's between Esau and Jacob. The apes is Jake. They're mocking in the movie. All right, you have people that watch the Planet of the Apes, and they really think they're apes, but it's really the tribes. Okay. The original Planet of the Apes, 1966, with Charles Heston. All right, and in that movie, it shows America was destroyed, and it was called the Forbidden Land, and it shows the monkeys reading the Holy Book. All right, and that's when they told Charles Heston, "Don't go that way. You're not going to like what you see." And he takes off with the woman on the horse, and he starts walking with the horse. And then he sees New York City. It's been destroyed, but he sees the Statue of Liberty. I remember watching that. I had to watch that sometime in the 70s. And I remember when I seen that scene, in my spirit, I said, that's America being destroyed. And it's not just going to be New York City. It's going to be from New York to Seattle, from Los Angeles to Boston. All right, the whole place is getting nuked. Miami, Dallas, Denver, it's going to be nuked. That's in the Holy Book, Revelation chapter 18. That's what's coming. But these two movies are good. 2 weeks ago, I seen the movie, The Long Walk. In the beginning of the movie, it shows that America collapsed, the economic collapse. The people were destitute. All right, and they have a game of men, and everybody's watching. They're trying to get people's spirit back up to fight the good fight. And it's a movie. It's brutal. All right. It becomes a desperate country. Okay. And they get all these young men to walk this walk. All right. You can't stop. If you stop, they shoot and kill you. All right. You have to go to the restroom in your pants. You just got to keep walking, and there's soldiers right there. All right, and like I said, if you stop, they put you to sleep. All right, they're showing you in the movies. All right, like the movie The Hunger Games. They're showing you what's coming. That's why they're breaking all these corporations down. All right, they're burning the Federal Reserve right now. The system, that whole system, the old system that they built. There was a beginning, and there's the end. We're at the end of it. They're burning it down. There are 15 major government departments, and then you have 500 small government departments. They're burning it all down, and the corporations, mass layoffs. The purge is here. But in that movie, The Long Walk, it's a good movie. Watch it. And they're showing you what's coming. Desperate times. And then the movie I seen yesterday, One Battle After Another. That's with Leonardo DiCaprio and Sean Penn. Good movie. Sean Penn, he should get an award. All right, he plays perfect. All right, he plays as a Colonel Steve Lockjaw. All right, yeah, it's a good movie. You're gonna have to watch that one. That one's good, and it's showing you what's coming. All right, the purge of the Native Americans, of the Latin tribes, and the Negroes. All right, it shows people fighting back. They want to start a revolution. It shows them attacking buildings, blowing up buildings. Shows them attacking the concentration camps, because they have concentration camps all over the United States. They've been built here in the United States probably since the 1960s. That's right, we can go back to World War II. The projects that are here in Colorado and different states in the United States, there were called the projects after the 1940s, and there were concentration camps that they had for American citizens. All right, and they put Germans were put in there, Japanese, anybody. They that you were anti-American, a terrorist, you were picked up, your family, and you were taken. That's coming back. Or we're in that time. We're like right back in 1930s Germany, Nazi Germany. It's coming back. But in this movie, it shows them people attacking. All right, and it mostly shows the blacks and the browns, but you also have whites that join forces with them to fight back. Because like I told you, a lot of people that look white are Israelites. All right, so you're going to have Edomites killing Edomites in that day, but some of them are Jakes. All right, so don't get things twisted. But this camera only holds like 30 minutes, so I got to move fast. They're good movies. I'm going to talk more about it tomorrow. Tie some scriptures together. It's beautiful. We're living in them times. But Sean Penn, man, he plays great. He plays great. I've always liked Sean Penn, but he should get an award, an Academy Award for this one. Man. He plays that perfect devil in that movie. All right, it's just a good movie. You gotta watch it, and he's out there purging out there. All right, and that's coming to the streets. It's going to be chaos out here. Let me get it right into the scriptures. We've got about 3 scriptures I want to come out. We're going to go into the holy book of Matthew chapter 24, and we're going to start with verse 3. And this chapter is called Troubles and Persecutions That Are Coming to the World. It happened back in the times after King Solomon. There was King David, King Solomon, and then after King Solomon, it went down. You know, society became wicked, and that's when the Most High sent the Babylonians to go in there and the Edomites to burn the holy city down. All right, and they were taken in. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi were taken into captivity, and then hundreds of years later, was when Yahushua was preaching. That's our Lord's name, Yahushua. All right, people call him Jesus. That ignorantly they're calling him Jesus. There was no J's in the ancient Hebrew. All right, that's why a lot of old Christian churches and even the fake Jews in those synagogues, the synagogue of Satan, they even know there's no J's. You know, if they say his name, they say Yeshua. All right, but we have the ancient name. It's Yahushua, for he is the deliverer of his people. All right. On this channel, it's raw and uncut, right to the point. All right. So this is the troubles and persecutions. When he was speaking, he warned the apostles and he warned the people what was coming. That there was going to be destruction of the holy city, and was going to be burned down to the ground, and that was in 70 AD. Well, the ancient Hebrews are here today. We're in captivity here in America. All right, we represent the body of Yahushai, we're here. All 12 tribes are here in America in captivity. That's your Latin tribes, Native American, and your Negroes. Those are the tribes. All right, everything you were taught was a lie. All right, that's why we're out here. That's why we're shadow banned. That's why they knock our videos down. They terminate our channels because they don't want people to know this truth. All right, but it's happening. Prophecy is taking place. There's nothing you can do about it. But the troubles and persecution is going to be in every American city. They're going to put perimeters around all the tribes, and there's going to be a purge. All right, purge. The purge is coming. All right, it's going to get wild out here. So you're going to have civil war, Americans fighting Americans, Esau fighting Esau, white man fighting white man, and then add the race wars in there. Oh, the cities are going to be on fire. The cities will be on fire. The holy book of Matthew chapter 24, verse 3. And as Yahushua sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him in private. Tell us when all this will be, they asked. What will happen to show that it is the time for your coming and the end of the age? All right, because the apostles at that time, they thought that was the end of the world. All right, they wanted Yahushua to destroy him. They seen the miracles. They seen he had superpowers, spiritual power, and he could have killed everybody. He's stronger than all the angels in heaven. Remember that. Remember, just angels that are under Yahushua. One angel could kill everybody on the earth. So just imagine what Yahushua can. He's stronger than all of them put together. But he was obeying the word of God. It wasn't time. But the apostles at that time, they didn't understand, but he had to break it down to them. That's why Yahushua, the Lord, was speaking parables. These are the secrets and the mysteries of the holy book. And we have all the secrets and mysteries. We have the true understanding of this knowledge and wisdom. All right? And that's when it says, show that it is the time for your coming and the end of the age. And Yahushua answered, watch out, and do not let anyone fool you. Many men claiming to speak for me will come and say, I am the Messiah, and they will fool many people. You are going to hear the noise of battles close by, and the news of battles far away. But do not be troubled. Such things must happen. But they do not mean that the end has come. Countries will fight each other. Kingdoms will attack one another. And that's been happening after 70 AD. There's been wars on the four corners of this earth. But your major wars was World War I, World War II. And then you had small wars like the Korea, the Vietnam, Desert Storm. But we're in World War III that actually started in the early 90s when they started building United States military bases in the Middle East to attack Iran and to attack Russia. All right, so we're in the first quarter of World War III, and it started to escalate in 2014 with the proxy war in Ukraine. We've been killing Russian soldiers. All right, and things are getting hot down there. I'm going to be talking about it tomorrow. I've got a few articles. What's happening right now in Ukraine. All right, it's getting hot, and Donald Trump burned all bridges with Russia, with Vladimir Putin. It's going to go nuclear. All right, this whole country is going to be on fire, man, and the whole world's going to be on fire. All right, it's the end. It's the end of the world. All right, things are just moving fast, and you see how the time, the days, the weeks, and the months are just going by quick. This is the fastest year I can remember. I've never seen a year go this fast. We're about to go into October. I mean, this month just went like 1 week, and boom, people are. I can see it on their face. They're in distress. All right, I see the way the people are driving. They're out of their minds. These people. Yesterday, I almost hit a kid on one of those scooters. He wasn't a kid. He was, I would say, 27 years old, out of his mind, looked like he was high. I was turning around the corner, and this kid just came out of nowhere, man. It looked like that thing was going 35, 40. I don't know. Them things are going fast now. I almost hit the kid, and he was flying by. I see a whole bunch of these kids. They're all over the place. And then I read an article that these kids are breaking their arms or their ribs, their hips, their legs, and they're hitting people. And actually, they've killed a few people hitting them on these scooters. And then I see these kids, full-grown people. They're not even kids. It's something that they're on that's like a ball. They don't even have nothing to hold, and they're just going down the street. Them things are flying by. It's unreal, all these things that they're making. And these kids, and they're on the sidewalks and the streets, like I said. And then you just have these regular crazy people driving on the highways, on the streets, going through stop signs, red lights. On the highway, they're just driving like maniacs. So you need to pray over your family before you leave the house. I mean, things are moving. And then you have the 2 blood moons that passed, and that first blood moon was it's a reset. Or we're in that time of the 4th turning. Everything's being purged right now. That happens every 100 years, and there's a major purge every 1,000 years. But we're at the last purge on the face of the earth. Look up the 4th turning. That goes back to the Holy Book. We're at the end of the age purge, like in the days of Noah. All right, where God flooded the whole earth. Well, in the end of the age that we're living now, that was the first death during the times of Noah. This is going to be the second death, and it's going out in fire. They show that in the movie The Knowing with what's his name, Nicolas Cage. That's a good movie, and it shows you what's coming. All right, and it's going to be fire. And then he says right here, you are going to hear the noise of battles close by and the news of battles far away. But do not be troubled. Such things must happen. But they do not mean that the end has yet come. Countries will fight each other. Kingdoms will attack one another. And there will be famines and earthquakes everywhere. All these things are like the first pains of childbirth. Then you will be arrested and handed over to be punished and to be put to death. Now these are, who are these people? These are God's people. God's chosen people who have the ancient Hebrew name. Remember, the churches, the Roman pagan church and the Protestant churches, they're going to get the devil's chip. That's going to be in the 2nd to 3rd quarter. All right? That's where they're pushing right now with that crypto coin and all that. We're going right into the RFID chip. Those churches are going to go to Romans chapter 13, and you're going to have the government, the branches of government, use the television to brainwash the masses, and they can't even break down Romans 13, where it says obey the government. And the governments that are on this earth are wicked and evil. You're only supposed to obey the prophets, because God sent the prophets in the end days. All right? And we're always going to tell you not to take that RFID chip, the devil's chip. All right? We're your elders. All right? In the Bible, it talks about the people of the land will be disrespectful to their parents. We're your parents. But during that time, they're going to use the television, and they're going to say, obey the government, this wicked kingdom that's ruled by Satan and his children, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, your branches of government. You see all the evil that's taking place. Everything that comes out of their mouth is a lie. All right? The dark times are approaching. So it's time to wake up. Awake from your deep, deep sleep. You've been sleeping for a long time. You're the walking zombies. All right? It's time to wake up. Because this is moving quickly. And that's why he says right here, when he says, many will be punished and be put to death. And that's going to be the prophets, the 144,000, and the great multitude of brothers, sisters, and children that know this truth. Many will be put to death, all right, for holding this truth. And he says many will give up their faith at that time. People are already giving up their faith right now. If the hard times are approaching and they can't believe it. Then a few days ago, September 23rd, this was the fake Christians. They thought the rapture was coming. That was spreading all over the World Wide Web, the internet. People sold their houses, their cars, they quit their job, and nothing happened. That's why Yahushua says, don't believe anybody. There'll be many false prophets. That's your Roman pagan church. That's your Protestants, your Seventh-day Adventists, your Mormons, your Lutherans, all right? Your Pentecostals, your Baptists. Those are the false prophets, the greedy dogs that cherry-pick the scriptures because they don't want to hurt your feelings. Over here, I'm here to hurt your feelings, right? I'm here to hurt your feelings. All right? I'm here to tell you the truth. And that's that. If you don't like it, all right, do what you do. Go watch soap operas and whatever you people do, man. All right, well, over here it's going to be raw, right to the point. All right, punishment is coming, and don't think you're going to escape this. All right, no one's going to escape. And like I said, they're going to even kill their own, even the illuminated ones and the Masons. The low-level ones are going to be purged, just like they purged your Charlie boy. He was one of them. And they purged him, and they made him like a hero. He's like a martyr for their cause, because they're trying to point fingers at somebody else in the dark. On the left, the Democrats that were behind it. You know, that guy that they're saying that did it, you know he didn't do it. Right? They always have a patsy. And like I said, evil men are behind the curtain, all right? Pulling the strings. They're behind this whole thing, and like I said, they're pushing for civil war. They're pushing for race wars. They're creating that economic collapse. The whole thing is going down. All right, people can't survive with this hot inflation, and we're about to start entering 2026 hyperinflation. They're cutting those rates. It's game over. All right, game over. Then you will be arrested and handed over to be punished and be put to death. All mankind will hate you because of me. All right, the whole world hates us because we hold the truth, and they know it. We're raw and uncut. All right, we're on the bottom. Remember, the first will be last, and the last will be first. We're the underdogs. We're gonna win this, and they know. People know it. I see them. I see the fear in these people's eyes when they walk by. All right, but they're in denial. They don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear these lies. Let them go to these fake churches and listen to their politicians that lie to them. All right, let the dead bury the dead. Follow these false prophets, and you're all going to fall into a grave. They're all walking right into the slaughterhouse. All right. Now, some of us, there's going to be casualties when you're in this truth. Many brothers and sisters will get caught up. But like, if I get caught up, I'm at peace with death. They could torture me. They could do whatever they want. All right. I've been in this truth for many, many years, decades. I've been reading the Bible since I was a little boy. I've been preparing for this for my whole life. But it's easier said than done. That's why I pray every day that I stand up in that day. All right? But I'm going to rejoice. I'm at peace. All right? I'm at peace with death. All right? Because my rewards are in heaven. And soldiers do die in battle. And this is a war. It's a spiritual war, and it's also a physical war. It's going to start getting physical out here. You have spiritual demons that are attacking us, but you have human beings, evil human beings, attacking us in the flesh. All right? And it's gonna. I already told you they have guillotines where they're gonna cut people's heads off. That's why at the end, many that know this truth are gonna lose their faith. That's why he says right here, and many will give you because of me. They will hate you because of me. Many will give up their faith at the time. They will betray one another and hate one another. Then many false prophets will appear and fool many people. That's your false church or pagan church or Protestants, the Muslims, Islam, which the Roman Catholic Church created. Such will be the spread of evil that many people's love will grow cold. But whoever holds out to the end will be saved. Right? Whoever fights the good fight to the end of the age will be saved. Your rewards, you will get a reward. And that's the crown of life, an everlasting life with our Lord Yahweh Shai. But whoever holds out to the end will be saved. And this good news about the kingdom will be preached throughout the whole world for a witness, the World Wide Web. People are watching me and my brothers that are preaching in Japan, in Russia, in Eastern Europe, in the Baltics, right? Western Europe, North Africa, West Africa, East Africa, South Africa, on the islands, the Mediterranean, in Asia Minor, right? In China, the Far East, in Latin America, Canada, America, the World Wide Web. And he says, and the good news about the kingdom will be preached throughout all the world for a witness to all mankind. And then the end will come. And then the end will come. And it's happening right now. All right? It's happening right now. And I wanted to read in Micah, because the race wars are coming. Right? Remember in 1992, the racial tensions in Los Angeles, when South Central was on fire. God showed you a glimpse of what's coming to America. Because when the economic the collapse happens here in America, it's going to get wild. They're going to start closing down all the grocery stores. They're already closing Walgreens. They're closing Walmarts, Targets in the ghettos. And that's for a reason, because they're going to starve the people out. All right? Who controls the food controls the population. Remember that. That's why people right now, they're in shock and awe when they go to the grocery store, because they control the food industry. All right? They control the water, and they control all these grocery stores: Costco, Sam's Club, Albertsons,